What's up, Bronze Age believers? Time for yet another comic haul video on the channel. Let's take a look. Welcome back to the channel. I am Bronze Age Brian, and thanks for looking at this comic haul video from our birthday bash in Ybor City for our good friend Jeff. I've got a little over 30 books to show you today, plus a couple of AOKs from two of my good friends in the comic community. So let's take a look at what I was able to find, and all of these books that I was able to get on my own were only $5 or less as part of this haul. Check it out. Alright, Bronze Age believers, time to take a look at this comic book haul from Ybor City Comics. If you would please like and subscribe to this video, and I hope you're enjoying the content that drops every Wednesday here on my channel. These comics are all in alphabetical order, so let's get going. Okay. First up, Amazing Spider-Man issue number 82, the variant cover by Arthur Adams. I happened to see this online. I really thought it was a unique approach, a little bit of a Hitchcockian kind of vibe going on here, so I was hoping I would stumble upon it somewhere on the racks, and I did just that. Moving over to the Mike Zeck run of Captain America, issue number 284, filling in some of the gaps I have in that particular series. Over to DC Comics Presents. I'm pretty far along in wrapping this up, just trying to find some better copies to upgrade my PC. Here we have issue number 64 with Superman and Kamandi. We have issue number 65 with Superman and Madame Xanadu. And then we have Superman and Supergirl in the Crisis era with issue number 86. And lastly in this stack here, I am working towards wrapping up my Defenders run as well, and this is issue number 69 from Mighty Marvel. Speaking of the Defenders, we got a little Doctor Strange action here with issue number 81, which is the last book in the run for volume 2 for the good Doctor Strange, and this is also the first appearance of the alien apprentice Rintra, which has seen some gains online, and I found this in a dollar bin at Ybor City. A little bit more Doctor Strange 90s goodness there with the wonderful lenticular glowing metallic covers. Book number 1 of the Illuminati series. I actually had not read this, but there's a lot of speculation here with this book, with Doctor Strange coming out and hearing Patrick Stewart's voice in the trailer, so we'll see what happens. So it was in the dollar bin, so picked it up. Couple of JLA books from that nearly George Perez run. This is issue number 183 and issue number 185 with a nice Jim Starlin cover. And if you can't see the parallels between Darkseid and Thanos, well then, that's on you. Moving right along, I became interested in this particular series, collected these figures when I was a kid, but now that I'm starting to find some of these in the dollar bins, the covers are fantastic. Bob Layton's involved in a lot of these, and they're a little hard to resist. So I got a few Micronauts books. Here's issue number 4, issue number 33, that's a Bob Layton cover. Issue number 35, which if you saw my video previously or watched me with the Cantonese Comic Kid on Extreme Nerd Table, there is a little stamp on this book, hopefully you can see, called Not to Be Sold. And those were stamped on books that came out of the Illinois DC Comics Press because they gave those to employees. And lastly here we have issue number 37, a Whitman variant. Always good to have the X-Men factor into things that is included in the Marvel Universe, and here they are teaming up with the Micronauts. Continuing on with Mighty Marvel, got a couple more books as part of my Master of Kung Fu collection here. Shang-Chi, as we are directed to refer to this book as now, is issue number 74. And issue number 110, little variant action there as well. Then I dive into Red Sonja. These are books that I'm trying to upgrade my personal collection for. I had these, and of course they were just not well cared for. So this is part of the Marvel feature series before they introduce her into her first solo title. So that is book number 6. And then we jump over to her solo title, and here is book number 9. book number 12, and I gave these books a generic dry cleaning and a press, and they really came out nice after having been in these $3 and $1 bins for quite some time. Moving right along, I'm enjoying collecting ROM. I had these books as a kid, but they were lost to the ravages of time. So I'm kind of going back and working on this run, and it's been fun. As you can see, I have a little bit of a affinity for robots and whatnot. So this is book number 26, variant as well in terms of Whitman style. Always good to see Galactus pop up in things. Issue number 30, another Whitman variant for ROM. And then issue number 58 with a little Ant-Man action on the cover. Okay, wrapping up my personal set of about 32 books that I picked up during this particular trip, we're going to dive into some Spider-Woman. Spider-Woman was one of those books that I did collect as a kid, but you didn't really kind of mention it to people because, you know, you're supposed to collect the more boy books, you know, the Batmans and the Supermans and whatnot. But I did always enjoy this. I did watch the cartoon as well, even though it was short-lived. But this is some good books, the Carmine Infantino era. So there's book number 2, book number 3. These covers are amazing, and this was another group. There's a small tear in this one here that I didn't notice until I got it home. But I got all these books for under $5 a piece. They were either $5 or $3 in the bin. Like I said, but that one's a little banged up. You can see some corner stuff there, but still good to have it. And again, you know, lost these books over time. So that was book number 7. We got book number 21 here, and I gave these another generic dry cleaning and a press as well, so they presented a little better. 24, book number 35, issue number 45, and then the penultimate issue, issue number 49. As most people know, this Volume 1 series wrapped up with issue number 50. And then just a few more books to round things out. I got a better copy of Titans number 11. I just happened to come across it. My original copy, I have a pretty decent, I believe it's a soda pop stain on there. So grab that. And then lastly, for the books that I picked up, just liked this cover. All my Wolverine stuff exists in some of my X-Men titles. I don't collect a lot of solo Wolverine with the exception of some Jim Lee stuff. So this is a wonderful Kubert cover for Wolverine here. In the late 90s. Okay, moving on to the AOKs I received on that very same day. Stunning Steve, I gotta hand it to you. I put a few books back. I was just trying to decide what I wanted at that time and how much I wanted to spend. He goes back into the pile that I set aside and grabs a handful of books and presents them to me later on. So, as always, thank you, brother, but man, you are something else, I tell you what. So, here's a beautiful T'Challa and Aurora cover from issue 15, Black Panther. A little out of order there, issue number 8. Another stormy cover, if you will. Miracle Man, Alan Moore. I wasn't sure if I wanted this book. I had my eye on it. I was like, maybe, maybe not. I ended up putting it down. Steve, you're something else, my friend. And then lastly, this was one I put back as well because I'd recently rewatched the movie and I kind of had my eye on it. It's got a wonderful Giordano Garcia Lopez cover on that, and I wasn't sure if I was going to get it. Set it aside, and then here we go. Steve hooks me up. Thanks, man. And lastly, the surprise of the day, sent in from our wonderful friend Robert from Wisconsin, the G-Man, the Nerdy Collective. So happy to have you on our comic community, brother. Sent me a Star Trek book, and then must have heard me chit-chatting with somebody mentioning that I was a little slow to pull the trigger on issue number 9 of Black Panther, and he sent it to Steve, and Steve gave it to me. So Robert, thank you so much. An unexpected and well-loved AOK, and issue number 9 here of the Kirby run of Black Panther does finish my collection for Volume 1. So again, thank you so much. And that about does it. Hope you saw something you liked. Always love talking about the books that we pick up, whether we're talking with friends in our community or whether I'm sharing it with all of you out there in the YouTube universe. So again, like, subscribe, comment down below. Would love to know if you have some of these books, your thoughts on these particular issues, and it's always good to have you watching. I thank you for your time, and keep Bronze Age believing, comic fans.